Hey guys, what's going on? It's Space Cowboy. Welcome back to the channel. And today, I know that we were looking at positives before, and I like to be optimistic, but we also have to look at the negatives to see what we can improve upon to try and move forward going into 2019. Now, what we're going to be doing today, as the title suggests, we're going to be analyzing every single Dak Prescott interception and just basically see what exactly is happening. Is it Dak Prescott that's not making the right throws? Is it certain things that are going outside of his effect? So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna establish the premises of, and we're gonna watch obviously these interceptions unfold and determine what's going on. So let me be emphatically clear. If the quarterback, it could be Dak Prescott, it could be Tom Brady, you name it. If the quarterback throws a pass that's deflected and bounces off the receiver's hands, that is not the fault of the quarterback. There are times where defensive players make really good plays, and I'm not going to sit here and say that Dak Prescott's every single one of them was, not his fault, but we're going to just take a look and we're going to determine that. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to look at the 8 interceptions that took place during the season, and then we're going to just talk about what we've seen from them. So let's go ahead and let's get started.
After last year, they implemented some points of emphasis to help out these receivers, and it has shown. Rare throw. Pass is broken up, and now they're going to say catch and fumble. Thomas on the return. Gallup had it, lost it. They're calling it a catch, and Seattle takes over inside the 30. We welcome in a new audience, and we just had a turnover. It'll be reviewed, and now they're going to overturn the call after that long run back and finally say incomplete pass.
Well, let's take a look at it and see. I didn't see that it hit the ground. Gallup had it. And it's hard to tell from that angle, but it's close as to whether or not the ball hit the ground with Earl Thomas there.
Alrighty, so now we're going to look back at the play now in a slower motion now. So let's go ahead and let's start playing this right now. So as you can see right now, Dak Prescott's under center. He's going to motion Hearns to come over to the left side. And so you're going to have Zeke in the backfield. You're going to have Dak Prescott under center. Then you're going to have Michael Gallup, Allen Hearns, Jeff Swaim, and Cole Beasley as the receiving options from top to bottom. Okay, so now the ball's about to get snapped. What's going to happen is Dak Prescott's going to take a 3-step drop. He's going to look towards Swaim first. He's going to look towards Beasley. And then after he looks at those two guys, he's going to complete it to Gallup on a quick slant route that should most likely get the Cowboys a first down, if not set up second and short. So here we go. So the snap is back. Dak Prescott takes his 3-step drop. He looks, and then he fires it over the middle to Gallup, and it should be 2nd and 1 if Gallup holds onto it. If he stretches, it's a first down. But as you can see, he gets knocked out, and Earl Thomas just happens to be in the vicinity to pick up the ball once it gets deflected. So let's go ahead and let's look at this zoomed up. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at this as the ball is in the air and gets to where it needs to be. So Dak Prescott, he sees Gallup open. He's going to fire it towards him. Gallup is going to catch the ball, and then you're going to have Flowers here knock it out. And as a result, you're going to have Earl Thomas sitting right there to take the ball right in his lap to get the Seahawks some decent field position. So let me be emphatically clear. Is this interception on Dak? No. Okay. Dak Prescott did the right play, getting it to the right player and at the right position. Gallup just didn't hold on to it. If Gallup holds on to the, to this ball, it's another first down, if not a 2nd and short, and the Cowboys continue their drive. As a result, it's a turnover. Luckily, Seattle doesn't do anything with it, if I recall, and all isn't lost. But first interception of the season for Dak isn't his fault. Let's go ahead and move on to interception number 2.
Easy catch. Beasley came away limping after that tackle. Here's one over the middle, in the air, and it is intercepted by Seattle. And Earl Earl Thomas as he bows to the Dallas sideline. And that drew a flag. Let's take another look.
Yeah, the ball gets tipped up, and Jarwin is basically just trying to knock the ball down, get it out of there, and pull it in. It's just the hot potato, and Earl Thomas, the guy who seemingly is always around the ball, comes up with it once again.
Taunting.
Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at this play in a more slower pace at this point, as you can see. So we can see we have Deontay Thompson, funny hearing that name because he's not on the team anymore. You have Blake Jarwin, then you have Cole Beasley, and then Allen Hurns at the bottom with Zeke next to Dak. Okay, so what's going to happen here, and unfortunately it's hard for me with the angle because I don't have NFL Game Pass. I'm not going to spend money on that. I really wish I could, but don't have that right now. Oh, do the free trial. That's besides the point. Anyways, so what's going to happen is Dak's going to just force this over the middle to get it to Jarwin. And it's going to be a bad decision, and we're going to look at it why. So let's go ahead and let's play this. So Looney's going to snap it to Dak. Dak's going to take the snap, and he's going to step back, and then he's going to fire immediately over the middle towards Jarwin. Now, I know it's kind of hard to see because it is blurry, but there's a reason why I paused it here. Dak Prescott tried to fit it in towards the middle. I understand that it's late in the game. You're trying to get this team back into it. But this was a bad throw by Dak. He shouldn't have thrown it because if you paid attention, you know, you have your linebacker right there next to your tight end. And as a result, yes, while it wasn't intercepted initially, this is one of the worst things that can happen. The one thing that you don't want to do is force the linebacker or the DB, and you force the ball to knock it up and someone intercepts it. And yeah, well, it is annoying how, and how much it irritates me when the receivers, whether it be tight ends or receivers, knock the ball in the air. Initially, Dak Prescott forcing it into that coverage resulted in this interception, okay? Yes, I understand the ball being thrown wasn't per se, like the initial throw wasn't intercepted, but the fact of the matter is that if you're going to throw the ball and it's going to go into a coverage like that where the linebacker's right on the tight end and it's going to be bounced up in the air, that's a bad decision, okay? I understand, like I said, your team's trailing, but let's go ahead and look at this at a closer look. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and let's look at this. This is just as the pass is being thrown. So we see Dak Prescott, as we see, steps back. He's going to fire over the middle to try and fit this in towards Jarwin. And as you can see, like I said, this is a bad throw, and you could see this initially. You already see where this is going. The reason why I believe this was a bad throw by Dak Prescott personally is because while the ball wasn't intercepted on the initial pass, Wagner could have possibly stepped in front of that and picked it off. Okay? And luckily, that wasn't the case. And we see, unfortunately, it does result in an interception, but when a ball gets batted up in the air, it can go either very good or very bad. Because for all we know, maybe, we've seen it happen good for us with Amari Cooper on that play against the Eagles to win it. And we see the bad here where it's batted up in the air, and as a result, Earl Thomas happens to be there to intercept the pass because Jarwin tries to corral it, and he doesn't, and it lands right in the arms of Earl Thomas. So this isn't per se, okay, the first initial pass was, it wasn't intercepted, but I think that this was a poor decision by Dak to throw it over the middle. I think that objectively looking at it, you shouldn't have forced it in, during that, and that happens, but that's something he needs to work on, is just learn not to force it into certain situations depending on what it may or may not be. So, that, in my opinion, that is on Dak. And it's also on Jarwin for knocking it up in the air, but it's more so on Dak to getting it there initially. So there's that. Let's move on to interception number 3.
Prescott. He's going to throw a little high, intercepted on the deflection. Kareem Jackson on the pass intended for Austin. Run out of bounds by Elliott.
Okay, so now we're going to go back and look at that. So now we take a look at what's going to happen on this play. And so we have Dak Prescott under center once again. and then we have Zeke in the backfield, and then you're going to have Deontay Thompson at the bottom of the screen, and at the top of the screen, you're going to have Tavon Austin, okay? So Dak Prescott's going to attempt to complete this pass down, deep to Austin, and it's going to be intercepted. So let's go ahead and let's see what happens. So Dak Prescott's going to take the snap. He's going to take a 5-step drop. He's going to look, wait for Austin. Then he's going to fire it over the middle. Now, here's the thing. You can say that Dak Prescott threw this a little bit too high. To me, I think that when you look at it, yes, while the ball was a teensy bit too high, the fact of the matter is that it hit Austin's hands, and as a result, it deflected, and then the defender was able to corral it for the interception, okay? So, and like I said, and have you ever heard the saying, if the ball hits your hands, you have to catch it, right? Or you should catch it, okay? And so, it hit Austin's hands, and as a result, he should have caught it. I understand that it was a bit higher than usual. And yes, I understand that Dak's going to work on that. But the fact of the matter is that Austin should have completed this. This should have been a first down, and this should have possibly resulted in either 3 points, or if the Cowboys were lucky enough, 7 points on the board. But then again, it results in a turnover, and luckily nothing happens on this drive because this was the drive in which the Cowboys had a fourth and goal line stand, and as a result, they were able to prevent points. But in my honest opinion, this wasn't on Dak. This wasn't on Dak. If there was something to say on Dak, he slightly overthrew him. But that's it.
Prescott, good protection this time. Fires, broken up, and intercepted. Justin Reed comes up with the ball.
This is that two-man, so Jonathan Joseph did not have to worry about any deep coverage. Yes, that ball hit the ground, but he possessed it.
All right, so now we're going to go back and look at this play. So you have Deontay Thompson at the top. You have Jeff Swaim, then Beasley, then I believe it's Hearns. I apologize. I can't see based off of this angle. And then you have Rod Smith in the backfield. So what's going to happen is Dak's going to look to find his options, and then he's going to find Thompson on the left sideline, and he's going to try and complete it to him to get the first down, as it is 3rd and 8, obviously. So, of course, you're looking to get the ball downfield in order to complete, to get an extra set of downs, obviously. So this is what's going to happen. So we're just right as the ball's about to be snapped, we're going to go ahead and play this. So Dak Prescott's going to take a 5-step drop. He's going to look towards he looks towards Gallup or Hearns, I forget. Then as well as Swaim, doesn't go for them. Then he sees Thompson. Then he's going to go ahead and fire it towards him. And this is where it's contentious, because I believe that Dak threw it to the right guy, if I remember this play correctly. The problem was, again, the ball is batted in the air, and as a result, the defender can capitalize on it. The thing that irritated me the most on this play, going back and watching it, is the fact that Deontay Thompson just sat there and let the defender come and hit him. Look, watch. Bam, see? And I understand. Look, we can sit here and say, well, Dak Prescott shouldn't be throwing it to those guys. Well, I understand that it's the quarterback's job to make the right decisions, but you also have to understand that as a receiver as well, you have to make sure that you're not going to have some dude come right behind you and punk you to get a freaking interception or pop the ball away that leads to an interception. And that's the thing with this one, too. This game, when you look at the 2 interceptions that took place, the first one, like we saw with Tavon Austin going off his hands, yes, Dak overthrew him a bit, but I really feel like that Austin could have caught that and result in the first down. This one, Thompson just gets punked, and he ends up letting the ball get flung up in the air. I think that this was a pretty good defensive play by Jonathan Joseph, number 24, and I think that, hey, the ball just was in the wrong place at the right time, and so that's what led to a turnover. I think that at the end of the day, with this specific interception, I think that Dak Prescott threw the ball where he had to get it to. I just think the defender made a fantastic play, and Thompson just didn't really do a good job at, countering that. So let's move on to the 5th interception.
By formation, Olawale, the fullback, will go So the passing game off of it, lofting it, and that is intercepted by Byard. The guy who led the NFL in interceptions a year ago comes up huge for Mike Vrabel's defense.
Well, they were sending Amari Cooper in motion, and they're really just putting him on that win route, essentially.
Okay, so now we're going to go back and look at this play. So obviously, Dak Prescott just got done motioning Amari to come closer towards the formation because he's going to have Amari come across the middle of the field to try and get open, okay? That's where I believe Dak is trying to go all the way on this play. It's just a matter of what he does that I think I get irritated with on this. So what's going to happen is it's going to be a play action fake, and he's going to try and fit this into Cooper. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's watch this. So we're going to play it. So Amari's coming over. Dak Prescott does the play action. Now this is where I think and again, I can't play armchair quarterback, but this is where I think Dak makes a mistake because obviously the rush is coming. And you can see Amari, I think, does get held here. I think that, during the interception, and I vividly remember saying this during the game, during this play, was, well, Amari got held, that there should have been a flag for that. And Amari does signal, hey, where's the flag for that? And I think that Dak sees this and he tries to get the flag. I don't know, but he shouldn't have made this throw. So he throws it off his back foot, and as a result, it's intercepted, okay? It's out of Amari's reach because he's getting, pushed back, and it results in an interception. I understand that we can sit here and say, well, I felt like that was a penalty, but Dak shouldn't have made this throw. Worst case scenario, if he feels that the penalty, and yes, I understand it's taking a chance, but if I was him, I think that I would have thrown it out of the back of the end zone. I hate to play armchair quarterback, but when you look at it, it was just a bad throw, and unfortunately, the odds didn't go their way, and it resulted in an interception. So I would say that was a bad throw on Dak, me personally.
Has to be the key and has to be able to disrupt Prescott. Amari Cooper's been shut out. This one's picked in the direction of Cooper, and Rasul Douglas has it. Big play for Philadelphia out across the 15.
Okay, so looking back at this play, we're going to see that this is going to be a great defensive play by Rasul Douglas, okay? Yes, we can make the judgment, well, Dak overthrew him or Dak did this. But when I look back at this is a great play by Rasul Douglas, and that is no shame in me admitting that, as much as I hate the Eagles. Because what's going to happen here is that Amari Cooper is going to just stutter, not necessarily, but you get the point I'm trying to get at. He's going to not do anything, and then he's going to immediately sprint to attempt to get open, okay? He's in between Jarwin and he's in between Hearns. So what's going to happen is that, here we go, so play clock running down. Dak's going to snap it. You see Amari, he stutter steps and then he goes on. Dak sees him and he's going to throw towards the end zone, and you could see it right here. Like, I felt that this was going to be intercepted. Now, keep in mind, it's not because it was a bad throw. It was because Rasul Douglas made a great play, okay? Because, look, he jumps right in front of the pass and picks it off. Great play by Rasul Douglas to get the interception, and he gets a bunch of return yards. Now, I'm going to let this run through because, of course, the clip's going to be right here. But the fact of the matter is that, hey, listen, if he doesn't get there, this is a touchdown, okay? So we go through this whole stupid replay, and I don't care how long it takes. Get me some more time watch. I don't care. So here we go. Here's the replay. So we see Amari. He's going to get past Malcolm Jenkins, and he's open, okay? And Dak sees he's open. He calls for the ball. Amari, look, if Amari gets just if Rasul Douglas isn't there or he doesn't stretch, this is a touchdown, and Dallas goes up by 10 points, okay? Just a great defensive play by Rasul Douglas, because based on how that ball was going, it was going to be in Amari's hands if Rasul Douglas doesn't make that play. So this was a great defensive play. This wasn't any bad doing on Dak. It was just the fact of the matter that DB was in the right position to make a great play. Plain and simple.
They have to be the ones to try to win this thing for this Eagles team. Prescott protected, throws high, and he's picked. Intercepted. Corey Graham with the return, out of bounds inside the 5. receiver wide open. Michael Gallup and Dak Prescott threw it over his head for the interception, first of the year by Corey Graham.
Yeah, Corey Graham right here, and what a job he does, but he's just playing deep. And he just has to catch the ball because there's a wide open it's Gallup who was running the 18-yard square in, and he's...
Alrighty, so we have another bad throw by Dak Prescott, okay? So let's keep in mind that based off of those interceptions I've seen so far looking back at them, we have the one in the Seattle game, the second interception he threw in that game, which I believed was a bad throw. The one in the Tennessee game, which I believe was a bad throw. And we have this one right here, right now. What's going to happen is look, you got to get 15 yards to continue this drive. You're pinned in your own 10-yard line. And as a result, you're going to try and get this down the field. And I understand that, yes, you want to try and get the yardage. But sometimes, you know, you got to be careful with what you do. And this is why footwork is important. So Dak Prescott's going to take the snap. He's going to look at his options. And then he's going to fire. And the ball's going to sail right over Gallup's head and into the arms of number 24. So what could have been a solid completion for another first down resulted in an interception which led to 6 points on the immediate play. And look, I've only seen 3 where I could say it was a bad throwing on Dak, more or less, out of so far the ones we've seen. And that's not bad, okay? Look, if we're talking about this right now and we can see the other discrepancies that have occurred, and this is just this year, we're not talking about the ones that previously happened, Dak can definitely improve on that. I think that he just needs to be careful when the stuff like that happens, because that was a bad throw that resulted in a touchdown and put the Eagles back in this game. That's why this was very bad on that part, because this got the Eagles back in the game, and this allowed them to stay close towards the end. So, bad throw on Dak, and I think he'll learn better next time. So let's go to the final interception of the regular season that Dak Prescott threw.
Trying to keep the shutout alive, and the crowd knows it. 4th down. Prescott back to throw. Going over the middle, high, and it's intercepted. It's picked up by George Odom. Getting some blocks. Odom is decked to the ground.
Okay, here we are in the Indianapolis game. Obviously, this was an embarrassment of epic proportions since we were shut out, but we got to look at this one. So, the Cowboys are trying to drive to at least get something to try and maybe not make this a shutout. So, what's going to happen here is Dak Prescott's going to throw over to Jarwin, who's going to try and get the ball as he's going out of bounds, and it's going to just come right off his hands. So, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So Dak Prescott takes the snap back. He does a 5-step drop. He looks. He sees Jarwin open. Bounces right off his hands and right into the defender's hands, okay? This, and I don't even have to go any further than this because I looked at this a couple times and it was pretty simple. Look, you can't let the ball... Look, Dak put the ball where it had to be. And considering how late in the game it was, I don't think it would have changed the outcome. But that's not on Dak. Absolutely not. The ball just got placed in the wrong position. The ball just got bounced up in the air and it was placed in the wrong position, thus resulting in the interception. So, based off of what I've written down on my notes and what I've counted, there were 3 interceptions that I would say Dak Prescott was responsible for to an extent. One of them being a whatever, because it was just like, it was bounced in the air, but it was still a bad throw. So, 3 out of 8 is not bad, you know. I mean, you want to try and make that 0, but we know that we don't live in a perfect world. There is not going to be a quarterback that does not throw any interceptions in a full season when you play all 16 games as a starter. But if Dak Prescott can work on these and if the receivers can just work on that, I think that they'll be great. You know what I mean? And so we're going to look at the final interception. This took place in the playoffs versus Seattle, and then we're going to go ahead and close this out.
Over 100 yards on 7 receptions for Amari Cooper tonight. Play action. Prescott floats. Pass is picked by K.J. Wright. Noah Brown was the target, and K.J. Wright just made the play. And there's the first turnover of the game as it went off the hands of number 85.
Well, they had him. You could see.
Okay, so this is the final interception Dak Prescott throws in this season. Obviously, it's in the playoffs, so it's not going to count them in the regular season. But what's going to happen here is he's going to try and go for the kill shot to Noah Brown. Obviously, the Cowboys have seized momentum in this game. They are closing in on scoring either a touchdown or a field goal to make this a larger lead. A touchdown more or less ends the game, but a field goal still keeps it close. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at what's going to happen. So it's going to be a play-action pass to Noah Brown that's going to get deflected. So we're going to see that Dak asks him to motion back because what's going to happen. And, run formation, not just playing. So here we go. Play clock going down. So there's the fake. Noah Brown begins to break away. Now, I want to pause it right here. I think when I was watching this, I personally felt that this was going to be a first down on how the thing was going. Like, real talk. But we see what happens. Noah Brown knocks it up in the air. KJ Wright fumbles with it, and he catches it as an interception in the end zone. This is not on Dak. Okay? If there's anything, and if there's a smidget of whatever you want to say is wrong with Dak on this play, is that, he didn't put it. Well, he put it right where it needed to be, except the ball got knocked up in the air. Looking back at the other interceptions that Dak Prescott had happened to throw, this wouldn't count on my books as a play that's not on his fault. Noah Brown knocked it up in the air, and the defender happened to knock it up in the air as well, and he caught it. And luckily, this didn't result in Seattle getting anywhere, and we end up winning the game. So, in totality, we looked at 9 of Dak Prescott's interceptions. Only 3 of them were really his fault. And let me be emphatically clear as well at the end of this video. Okay? I understand that I'm not an expert, and I greatly appreciate those that are watching to understand. Listen, I don't label myself as an expert. I'm just giving you my opinion. And I greatly appreciate that if you understand that. And so as a result, you can feel free to explain to me why you feel like whatever interception that you think I'm wrong on is a certain thing. Oh, you're using wrong terminology. Well, I don't care. It's not my fault that I'm not, saying everything right or whatever. But please, feel free to provide your content down below to why you think that I'm wrong on certain things. I'm willing to listen. As long as it's not insulting, I don't care. But please, leave it down in the comment section below. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new and hit the notification bell. And I will see you guys later. Peace out, guys. Bye-bye.